Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert, the fantasy football counselor, and look who is back. It is Tim, the bald guy. What is going on, Tim?
Not much, man. How's it going?
Good. Excited to have you back. And today we're talking about 5 fantasy football 2020 players to avoid that are higher in the ADP, higher in the consensus rankings. And we're going to be telling you to be cautious of them based on our research. Tim, it's good to have you back, man. Looks like, where are you, man? Looks like, are you in the
This is the home studio that's not really a studio. This
Really?
is the makeshift studio.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I'm glad you're back, man. I had to get you that mic there. He's using one of the old mics I used when the podcast originally started. He's got his home set up here. So, Tim, I'm excited to get into this, man, and it's good to have you back. So, let's talk about maybe your first player. Actually, before we get into this, Tim, I got to tell people now we're almost certain there's going to be a season. There is talk that of a shortened season, all this stuff happening. The draft is happening, which gives us more reinforcement on the season. So I want everybody to click on the link below, get the 60-round draft solution, the first ever and only video training to help you guys dominate your leagues. Tim, this is going to help people crush your leagues, man. I'm excited.
Football better friggin' happen. That's all I have to say. It's still months away. We should be able to get this under control.
All right, let's get to the top, or not top 5, but 5 picks here.
The top 5 dingers.
Yeah, guys that you should stay away from for fantasy football 2020. Who is your first pick, Tim? I want to hear this.
My first, and even though he's super talented and I like him as a player, I'm saying Alvin Kamara. And I'm saying just because I don't think he's going to reach that ADP of where he's going right now. So right now he's ranked what, 5, 6, something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I expect a similar year last year, but, you know, it's just he's missed a couple games. He's not getting the touchdowns that he got in the heyday, you know, a couple years back. I just expect his numbers to stay low. I just think that with Michael Thomas there and Jared Cook, I think Jared Cook's going to have an even bigger presence this year. And Cook was used quite a bit for the red zone targets. So I don't think he's going to get those TDs back.
Yeah, well, I see him sitting 6th right now amongst running backs. Now, the problem with Alvin Kamara is he's always paired up in a committee. He's always got somebody else there. So his attempts are always going to be low, but you're always going to expect around, 80 receptions on average. So you're going to get those PPR numbers, but you're never going to get that full true workhorse. And that's a bit of a concern to me every time I look at Alvin Kamara. So again, he's always going to finish in and around the top 10. So that's the thing, but I don't know if I want to pay too much for him when I can get somebody else. And we're going to talk about that.
I'm not going to pay an early first round pick for Kamara. I mean, if I could pick him up late first, early second, I'm pretty happy with that, but I'm not picking him like top 5.
Right. So yeah, I'll always be cautious with him. Tim, let me go with my guy now. A guy that I'm telling you to stay away from. And again, I want to do 5 players to avoid in this episode. I do episodes. I have a specific episode on why to avoid these guys. So we just want to touch up on this, get Tim back into the groove with this episode. But this guy I'm talking about is Dalvin Cook. His current rank overall is 5th. Now, the crazy thing about this is everybody's on him because he had a good season last year. But what people are forgetting here is that he hasn't finished a season in 3 years. This is something that I just can't wrap my head around. So you're putting a guy 5th overall in fantasy. You're putting him on this fantasy football pedestal and telling me you're going to draft him in the top 4 or 5 picks. And this is a guy, again, hasn't finished a season and really fought last year to do really well so he can get paid, has threatened to hold out if he doesn't get paid. I guess they're talking contract with him. I would not pay this guy a penny. I'm not sold on him, Tim. I don't see the fascination here. Now, he hasn't even made a fantasy football playoff championship. He's never played in one. So why would you give a guy the honor of a top 5 pick if he has not even been in a fantasy football championship? Now, I can see it with a stud rookie coming in, like when Saquon came in his first year. You saw the talent. He was in a good position to succeed. But Dalvin Cook, I don't trust him. What do you think about this?
I don't know how you can say you don't trust him. Like maybe if you could say I don't trust him to finish a full year, that's fine. I would totally agree with that. He is often injured, even if they're just minor injuries. However, the dude is a beast. He puts up the points, man. When he's in the game, even last year, he missed a few games, and he was still right there. I don't have the number in front of me, but he still finished top 10 easily. I'm sure of it. So I'm happy to take a Dalvin Cook at the right time and to drop him at the right time. You know, he's one of those I'm going to sell him high sort of guys.
I'm not sold on him, Tim. I think he's going to be the biggest bust of 2020 fantasy football. That's how
the only way it happens is if he gets injured and misses many games. If he is healthy and playing, no friggin' way.
He played 14 games last year, finished 6th amongst running backs in PPR. So Derrick Henry finished just above him. But why pay so early when I can get someone else? I'm not sold on it.
No, I agree with not paying a high price for a guy that isn't consistent. But when he's in, he's putting up the points, man. So all you got to do, are you going to pray that he puts in that full year, or are you willing to accept a top 10 finish with one of your first picks? That's right. The question.
All right, let me go back to back because you've got 2 picks, I've got 3. So just let me go back to back here. This guy, I'm not sold on him at all this year. DeAndre Hopkins, again, great talent. Don't get me wrong. 18th overall. He's pretty much a top 5 wide receiver going into 2020 fantasy football, right? So when you look at DeAndre Hopkins, you got to look at a guy that's on a different team. He doesn't have the rapport yet with Kyler Murray. And you got to look at what happened last year. They spread the ball around. Their top receiver was Larry Fitzgerald. Okay. Larry Fitzgerald was top receiver. I think he maxed out at about 109 targets. That's their top receiver maxing out. Again, similar to what happened with Landry and Odell last year, I was telling you guys, don't draft Odell because Landry was the top target for Mayfield, who maxed out at 149 targets. And Landry's still there, right? So now you're in a similar situation where Fitzgerald is still there, and he maxed out. If I could see if Fitzgerald had 250 targets, I'd say, okay, those targets come down and, Hopkins is going to get them. But no, 109 targets max for the top receiver who's still there. So let's say mathematically, Fitzgerald drops to 80 targets. So Hopkins gets 20 more. Where is he going to max out? Christian Kirk is still there. They got Kenyon Drake catching the ball in the backfield. They're thinking about drafting another ace wide receiver, line up 4 wide. For Hopkins to be a top 5 wide receiver, he needs at least 130 targets minimum. That's assuming he's going to get a lot of touchdowns. So again, this is crazy, man. I'm just going to stay away from Hopkins. Again, people are going to be drafting him thinking he's still on the Texans, which is not the case. What do you think?
Yeah, man. You make a great argument. I mean, all the points you say hit the nail right on the head. 18 sounds really good for him. Like, oh my God, I can get DeAndre Hopkins middle second round. I'm happy. But then when you start talking the way you're talking, the share of the receptions and how much is going to go around, it's scary, man. I mean, if I could pick him up early 3rd, I'm still going to grab him, but no, at mid 2nd, even though it sounds tempting, once you listen to all the arguments, no.
I think again, based on ADP, this is rank. I think his ADP is going to be a little higher. I think he's going to go at the end of the 1st round.
Yeah, no, too much, man. Way too much.
Not going to pay that. So again, we don't know where these players are going to fall. This is all pre-NFL draft. So once the draft happens, we're going to have a better idea. All right, Tim, let's hear your other. And I know who this is.
And let's fight.
I just want to let everybody know I completely disagree with this. So I do not agree with Tim on this.
And you're going to have to explain why, because I think I make my argument just fine. And mine is Josh Jacobs. So the reason, and don't get me wrong, I like Josh Jacobs too. And I think at the right ADP, he's awesome. But I think his ADP has skyrocketed. And I don't see how his numbers are going to increase to hit that ADP spot. So last year he finished 84th overall. Now they're saying he's ranked 16th overall. How the hell do you think he's going to make those points? He only had 20 receptions last year. So even in PPR, he put up 1,150 yards rushing. 7 touchdowns, I believe it was. Yeah, in 13 games. Yeah. So give him those 3 extra games. Give him a little bit more rushing. Give him maybe 1 more touchdown. I don't care. It's not enough to justify that jump in his ADP. He did well in receiving. So he caught 20 of 27, which is a good ratio. I'm pretty happy with that. But I still don't see his share increasing that much. And let's face it, Darren Waller did all the work on that team for the most part. I believe Waller had like 1,150 yards receiving, only 3 friggin' touchdowns. Waller should be getting fed more. He should be getting some more red zone looks, and that's going to take away from Jacobs. I see Jacobs rising. I see him doing better than what he did last year, but I don't see this increase.
Yeah, he finished 82nd. I think he said 84th. Either way, in PPR, I think he said 82nd. Either way, he finished in the 80s. So yeah, I definitely see 80s overall, right, in PPR. So I definitely see your point and your argument. The 7 touchdowns, that could go up to, let's say, 10. He gets a little more volume, catches a couple more balls, gets a couple more, rushing yards. Is that going to be enough? Listen, I think he's still going to do well. I talked to a Raiders guy, and he was saying that he played with a bum shoulder after week 7 that he didn't talk about. So the work ethic is there. I think they believe in him. We're going to have to see if they draft a backup running back. I don't think so. But the good news is that he's going to be the workhorse as far as I know. and they want to draft an ace wide receiver. So if they get a Jerry Jeudy now, he's less stacked boxes. He's going to be running the ball more, going to be using the passing game. And I don't think he's hit his ceiling. So I think there's more there for him. So again, I'm sold on him. I think he could easily be a late first rounder.
No way.
Workhorse running back.
No way.
Honestly, I really, this is going to be interesting, man.
I'm not touching him unless I can get him like early third.
I definitely see the hesitation, but I like him. I
like him too. Believe me, I do like him. I just don't see an increase. He would need 90 more points than what he got last year to finish at that justifiable 16th rank.
So
not going to happen.
So are you avoiding him?
No, I'm picking him at the right spot. I'm picking him very late second, early third. I'm happy to get Josh Jacobs.
I don't think he's going to fall then. I really genuinely.
And that's fine. Then I'm passing on him. Not willingly, not saying he's crap, just not paying that price.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. I just gotta, I gotta tell everybody that I do not agree.
Are you taking him late second, mid second?
I'd probably consider taking him early second, man. If I can get him. I love him. I love the workhorse. If I can get myself a Derrick Henry and come back and get Josh Jacobs in round 2, I'm a happy person.
All right. All right.
That's going to be interesting. I want to see how the mock drafts kind of fall into play. All right. This guy right here, man, it's crazy. Now, I don't know if it's going to change. The news broke yesterday that Kareem Hunt is going to be there. He signed a tender. He's staying on, man. He's going to be on for this year. 2020 is what we're hearing. So this is going to be very interesting to see what happens to Nick Chubb. The consensus, the consensus currently have Nick Chubb 9th amongst running backs. And man, 17th overall in the overall rankings is absolutely insane for a guy who basically did well the first half of the season when Kareem Hunt came back, was outscored by Kareem Hunt 6 out of the 8 games in PPR. Yes, Kareem Hunt was doing better than Nick Chubb. Well, guess what? Kareem Hunt is still going to be there. Who's to say that Nick Chubb is guaranteed the starting job? Like, what if Kareem Hunt comes in and steals that job away? Because he definitely has the talent to do that. This guy was a rushing leader a couple of years ago on the Kansas City Chiefs. So the talent is there. The upside is there. Nick Chubb, I think, is more a pure runner, but when you got a more versatile back, you've got Kareem Hunt who can catch the ball. This is going to be a disaster. And again, what kills me with this is the mainstream in the rankings based on last year, because Nick Chubb finished in the top last year. Where did he finish here? I think he was a top guy. 8th overall in PPR is where he finished, I believe, right? So because he finished there, they have him exactly at the same spot, thinking he's going to do the exact same thing. And that's where the system is broken. They're not really, they say, yeah, Kareem Hunt's going to be there, but it doesn't really matter. Kareem Hunt's a force to be reckoned with. And I think people are taking him too lightly. What are your thoughts on this?
I totally agree with you on Chubb. I mean, we said it all last year, even that once Kareem Hunt comes back, man, things are going to change. They didn't change maybe as drastic as we thought. We thought maybe Kareem would really come in and take over again. Didn't happen, but it really went to kind of like a 50-50 committee. Yeah. And these two, I mean, their points were almost equal most weeks.
Yeah.
Couple points difference every time. That's just too much, man. Not buying it. No way.
No, and that's the thing, right? If you look at Kareem Hunt's numbers, you're like, okay, well, yeah, Joe, he, that 1 week where he kind of beat him like, let me pull up a number here. So I think it was week 14. He had 14.8 points. Okay. And you're like, yeah, Joe, that's only 14.8 points. But yeah, man, if you need to win by, you're in your fantasy week, you need to win by like 1 point and you're starting Nick Chubb, your starter, it's like, you lost by a point, but those points went to Kareem Hunt. That's your RB1 that those points came off of. So again, I don't trust Nick Chubb at all. I think people are going to pay too high. They're going to be extremely disappointed. And if there's one point I want to get across is I'm just stay away from Nick Chubb and Dalvin Cook for this year. Again, good reasons. Kareem Hunt for Nick Chubb. And of course, with Dalvin Cook, a guy who hasn't finished a season. I mean, you're 0 for 3 for finishing a season. Why would I trust you for, why would I expect you to finish a season in your 4th year? I mean, you could say, yeah, well, he's due to finish a season, maybe, but he's also, history shows me that he can't finish a season. And I really believe Dalvin Cook blew his load. I think he did everything he possibly could. I saw him running to the outside, running out of bounds a lot. As soon as he was getting hit, he was dropping, preserving his body so he gets that big contract. And I actually hope they pay him, because if they pay him, he's going to crap the bed even worse. You watch. I guarantee it.
Yeah, so for me, the big thing when we talk busts is all based off of ADP. So right. To us, I mean, sometimes these guys are maybe ranked a little too high. Their ADP is too high. That you're just paying too high of a price. So what we're saying essentially is I'm not paying that price for this guy. Not that he's not talented, not that he can't do well, just not paying that price, period. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I'm picking any of these guys if I can get them at what I believe is the right spot. Definitely. Even a Dalvin Cook, I'm picking him if I can get him where I think he should be.
If I can get Dalvin Cook in the 3rd round, I'm taking him.
Yeah, but you know there's no friggin' way you're getting it.
No, but yeah. I love it. I say take it. I was just having a discussion with a Titans guy yesterday, and a guy that seems really attracted to me, and I still don't think he's getting the respect that he deserves because he's
this Titans guy. He's really attracted to you.
No. The Titans guy is talking about Derrick Henry actually, and he's saying that Derrick Henry didn't get the love. And again, this could be bias coming from a Titans guy, but what I'm thinking is, Derrick Henry could be the top finisher for this year, man. He really could, because I still think he's got more to prove. I mean, this was a guy that just didn't get the respect, didn't get the carries that he should have got when he got into the league. He was mixed in with other guys. Now he's finally proved I'm the guy. This year he could come out even stronger. He signed a 1 year, I think it was like $10.2 million. Didn't get locked down for that career, that big contract. I still think he's got something to prove. I genuinely do. He's got a lot of heart, genuinely a good guy. I think I might even consider Derrick Henry as a first 1.01.
It's too high for me, and I know that I totally disagreed with you on him last year, so I got to eat a little bit of crow, and I'm glad to do it. To me, he was just that running guy, and in PPR, I thought, no, he can't put up those kind of numbers. Well, sure as hell, he did it, man, and he did it well. Can he do it again this year? Yeah, he can. He can run, 1,700, 1,800 yards. As long as he gets the touchdowns, he's going to be there, even in PPR. I'm still not paying that high of a price for him, but I got to eat some crow when it comes to Derrick Henry.
Would you take Dalvin Cook before Derrick Henry?
Yes.
Really?
Yep. Always. Oh, man, because you know that I'm all about a receiving running back. And when it comes to people, and once again, so even if I take Dalvin Cook and I'm feeling good about him, it's week 12. He gets, I'm starting to think, the injury's coming. Yeah. I'm dropping him. I'm going to trade him for something good.
You can't feel the injury is coming. The injury is just going to happen.
No, but I mean, I know you don't predict injuries. I'm just saying, if I feel that I've gotten 12 really good weeks out of him, and then I want to protect my butt and get somebody that I'm really sure can finish the year, I'll make a good trade for him.
Yeah, so maybe get Dalvin. This is a good strategy. You get Dalvin Cook, you run him for 4 weeks, and then you know that he is kind of probably due for something.
I hate to say it, but it happens, man.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not celebrating injuries at all, but this year when Dalvin Cook goes down, and he will, you will hear it from me. I'm going to make a lot of noise on social media. It's going to
always do, especially when it comes to Cook.
It'll be a lot of "I told you so," and if the Vikings pay him, they're getting tagged. I don't care if the Vikings organization blocks me. I'm going to call them idiots for paying Dalvin Cook if they decide to do that. Actually, in fact, like I said, I hope they pay Dalvin Cook because I want to see what happens here. And again, when he goes down, which he will, he's 3-0, whatever, right, for going down. So he's going down. It's just a matter of what week it is. That's all.
Yep. So I hate to say it, but I kind of agree with you, and I wish him the best. I don't want him to get injured, especially a serious injury, but I mean, it's been proven in the history.
Right. Once a cheater, always a cheater. This is an analogy. I heard that.
Eating ain't cheating.
Yeah. So get the 60-round draft solution below, guys. There's a link below. Smash the thumbs up and let me know what you guys think. Are you avoiding these 5 players, the Jacobs, the Cook, the Chubbies, the DeAndre Hopkins, who's on a new team? Let us know below. Are you going to avoid them? And the good news is, guys, Tim is back.
And don't just tell us we're idiots because these guys are going to... No, I want you to back your crap up just like we have. Joe's given really good reasoning of why these guys aren't going to do it. So if you want to talk crap, you want to say, no, man, I'm there all day long. Tell me why. Explain it.
Yeah. Give us reasoning. Like last year, I said, oh, well, Landry's better than Odell, and told you why I think Landry's better. Oh, no, screw you. You need to be institutionalized, Joe. You're an idiot. Blah, blah, blah. There's no way Landry's better than Odell. And now when I say it, they're like, oh, we knew that. We knew that. We knew Landry was better. We know Odell's not that good. And it's like, it's hindsight, right? Everybody looks like a superstar now, but back, when they have the information, but when it's happening, I'm a crazy person. So
just make a good argument for what you're saying. That's all I have to say. Don't just come on and say you're an idiot. Chubb's going to be awesome. That doesn't tell me anything. It tells me you're a moron and you can't back up what you're saying.
Yeah, well, it's good you're back, Tim. I think we should try to get back to a couple episodes a week here.
Absolutely.
Doing a special Saturday episode treat for you. Tim's treat to do a Saturday episode. All right, man. Well, we'll talk in a bit, guys, and smash a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Are you drafting these guys? Because I'm definitely not, but I am drafting Josh Jacobs. I like him.
I'm drafting all of them at the right spot.
All right, guys. We're out. Thanks, Tim.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.